Hi, this is Harish, Excel trainer from Smartsheets. This video is recorded for our Power Query basic students. So students, I hope you are aware of merging in Power Query, which is similar like what we do a VLOOKUP in Excel. Right? Now in the basic session you did a merging of one table to another table with basically with left outer. We did not talk about the different merging kinds. So the objective of this session is to understand everything about the merging, the different kinds of merging we have, as well as the fuzzy logic magic. Good. So let us discuss more about the different merging kinds with some examples. So in this particular file, if I go to the data sheet, there are two tables. So I have to do a merging between these two tables. So in one of the table I have names as well as the amount, and in another table I have names as well as the location. So if you look at the data, now some of them are matching. In both the cases there are same names available. Now A to I think A to E maybe, yeah. So A to E, you see this both the places there are some names, and in table 1 for name F to J, this is not there in table 2, and in table 2 there are some names from K to O which is not there in table 1. Yeah. Now let us look at how do we go about doing merging with different kinds. To save time, I have already loaded these tables into the Power Query, so let's go ahead and start doing it. Okay, I'm into the Power Query editor. Now the classical one that we have done in a Power Query basic session is the left outer. So in the left outer, so if you see this, I've just put across these two comparisons, fact table and dimension table, or you can just take any table for that matter. So basically when you do a merge, you give two tables, right? So the primary table and the secondary table. Yeah. So the primary I call it as fact here, secondary I call it as dimension. So when you do with left outer matching, what happens is it picks up A and B. So I've just put across a segregation here. So matching records, non-matching records. So non-matching records typically in Excel, it comes with -NA. So that's what I put across here. So when you do a left outer, so you get a result of A and B, which means if there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about let's say 10 records from the fact table, the output will be 10 records A and B, which will give you the matching records output as well as the non-matching records. Yeah? So let's look at it. So I'm coming to the Power Query. So from table 1 to table 2 I will do a merging. So home tab, merge queries as new. So I'll say match on from table 1 name column with table 2 on name column. And right now I'm not changing any of the join kind. By default, it always gives me left outer, so I'm going to keep that. It says all from first, matching from second. So that's what it means, isn't it? So all from first will be given to you once as an output, and the selection matches 5 of 10 rows of the table. Now here you can see before doing the merge in table 1 I had 10 rows, and here also I have 10 rows. Yeah, the output is not changing. Now let me name this as left outer. So what happens now is it will give you an output in the form of a table. So whichever is matched, you getting the records of from the table 2, something like this, and whichever did not match, you will get this table as empty. So typically what we do now is if you want only the matching records, you actually open up this table, am I right? And you probably, let's say I take the location and or name as well, I tell okay to this. Now you can see now you have the matching records which is populated. The non-matching records comes with null. So which means in case you want to keep only the matching records, you typically come here and untick for null, which means it will only give the matching records. Or if you want only the non-matching records, you opt only for the null, and then you get the non-matching records. That's how it works here, isn't it? Great. So what I want to tell you is So let me delete this tag. So when we did a merging, so left outer is actually sufficient. It can with the different kinds of matching you want to get, you can still get around with left outer itself. Just that steps will be a little more extra. Otherwise, I still see that left outer can do all the different things that you want. Yeah. Any case, we will learn the other join kinds as well. Yeah. So let's go into the maybe the next one. Left outer is done. So we'll go for left anti. So let's see what that is. Yeah. So left anti means you can see this B only, which means only the non-matching records you will get as an output. Yeah. So I'm going to table 1 and I'll say merge queries. Oh, I'm sorry, I should have said merge queries as new. And I'll select again from table 1 to table 2 with the name column. So this time I'll go for left anti. It says rows only in the first. From the first table only it will give you, and basically it means the one which is non-matching. Yeah. So I'm going to tell OK to this, and you can see this selection excludes 5 of 10 rows from the first table. Yeah. So whatever is matching is excluded, and what I get is now only these null values, right? So whichever is not matched, typically those are the ones which is just giving you. Yeah. So as I told you, left anti will be from the left side the non-matching records. So typically let's say when you do a VLOOKUP, whatever you get ASHNA, you actually let's say you filter out for ASHNA and take this record and put it on the other side, right? So these are non-matching records. Good. So let me now rename this as left anti. So let's look at the other different things that we have as well. So I'm going to table 1 merge queries as new. So I'll select from the name column from table 1, from table 2 I'll select name column. Okay, now what does full outer say? Let's see. Full outer says all rows from both. Now let us look at the logic here. Now full outer is going to full or all outer is going to give me A, B and D. That means all the matching records as well as the non-matching records from the fact table as well as the dimension table. Now this is quite useful because when I have to compare or reconcile between two sets of data, now when I do a VLOOKUP formula in one table, I get the non-matching records of only that table. Now what I have to do, again I have to go to another table and then do a lookup with the first table. Again I have to pick up the ASHNAs, right? So this is where it kinds of in Excel it takes time to do this. Now here within the Power Query, single all outer can really full outer can give you both of them together at once. Yeah. Now with left outer also I could have done, just that I have to do a 2 times merging, first from fact to dimension and second from dimension to fact, typically like how we do with Excel VLOOKUP formula. I think those additional steps can be avoided with all outer. Yeah. So let's check it out. So I'm coming here and I'm saying full outer, like tell OK to this. Now you can see firstly all the 10 records have been given. Remember the table 1 had 10 records and all the 10 records have been given. Along with that you get an additional line called a null value. Now basically these are something which were not there in table 1 and these non-matching records coming from table 2. Yeah. Now as you can see here, the full outer A, B and D. So A and B is part of the fact table. So those are the 10 rows I'm talking about. Now D is a single row which is holding on to this ASHNA record from the dimension table or the null values. So if I go here I have those names and their location which is not there in the first table. Yeah. So let me just open this out and I'll say open this up. So now the records increase to 15 rows. Yeah. So which means the one which is null in these 2 columns are basically the non-matching values in table 1 and the one which is null in these 2 columns are the non-matching values in table 2. Good. So this, what kind of a matching we did here? Join kind, we did full outer. So let us rename this as let us learn the other kinds of join kinds. So I'm coming to table 1, merge query as new again with table 2, and this time I will choose for inner. So what does inner say? Basically the only matching row. So this is quite useful because every time you're doing a VLOOKUP and you want to eliminate the ASHN entries, or you want to keep only the matching rows, and that is where I think this is quite useful. Yeah, because through merge, to left outer, you have to expand the table, then you have to untick this null values, right? So non-matching ones. Instead of that, directly we can use this. So I'm going to tell OK to this. Okay, so let me rename this as inner. So you can see now, out of 10 records from table 1, only the 5 records have come, which means only the matching ones have come here. Good. Okay, so again we'll do another one. We'll see what is right outer and right anti. So I'm going to table 1, merge queries as new. On right outer. Right outer says all from second, matching from first. So basically the logic is, when I am doing with my fact table being my first table and dimension table will be my second table, to do a merging. So when I do with a right outer, it's going to pick A and D, or you can say C and D, the matching records as well as the non-matching records from the dimension table or the second table. Typically we are used to doing this on this table only and then getting A and B, right, with left outer. Here it's a bit different. It's going to give matching records from fact as well as non-matching records from dimension. Now this could have been arrived even, I can do left outer. Probably I can take this dimension table as my first table and the fact table as my second table. I should have still got, isn't it? Any case, we'll try out with right outer once. Yeah. So I'm going to say right outer, 5 of 10 records matched. Let me rename it as right outer. So you can see from table 1 there were 5 matching records that's been given here, and the non-matching records have been eliminated, and then I have the non-matching records coming from table 2 here. Yeah. So once you expand, this will open up. Yeah, these 5 or 6 entries will open up. Great. Good. So lastly, we'll now learn about right anti. Now right anti is typically when you do merging, you will get only the non-matching record from the second table. Yeah? Typically, if this is what I wanted, I could have actually used left outer or left anti to achieve it, where this could have been my first table, isn't it? But any case, we'll learn through right anti as well using this. So creating a new query from table 1 to table 2. Select this. This is where I meant you could here choose table 2 and choose table 1, and then you could go for left anti or left outer to get those non-matching records from the second table. Yeah. But in any case, we'll keep table 1 as constant, table 2 here, second table, and here we'll go for right anti, which says rows only in the second. That means it means basically the non-matching records from the second table. Yeah. And I tell OK to this, and you get only one row because this kind of a merging left anti, it's right anti will get you the non-matching records from the second table. So that means there will be only one row, but in the nested table you will have all the non-matching records coming up. Once you open up, you will get it. Good. So I think we understood what are the different kinds of join kinds that we have in the merge tool in Power Query. I think the one I use regularly is standard one, left outer, and especially when I wanted only the non-matching records, then I go for left anti, and in case I want only the matching records, then I go for inner, which will only give me the matching records. These are the ones I use very frequently. Otherwise, full outer, right outer, see, right outer, right anti is kind of confusing for me at times. So I always use left anti, left outer. By interchanging the tables, I can always achieve that. And yes, inner is something at times I might need. I wanted to know the non-matching records. I'm sorry, full outer is something I use sometimes rarely, where I want the non-matching records from both the tables to be shown in a single table here. Then I use it. Hi. Now in this session we'll learn on the fuzzy logic matching. So the last time I think you learned on the different merging kinds, right? Now fuzzy logic has different aspects attached to it in the Power Query. The main purpose of that is to actually start matching inconsistent words. Something like let's say I have the word Bangalore, and I'm searching for this word Bangalore, and in my database there is no word Bangalore. Maybe there's very close words like let's say Bangalore with pin code, or there's Bengaluru, or the word BLR, and things like that. So in such cases you can do a kind of a matching with like contains or some other logic, which we'll discuss that later on. For now I want to focus on a couple of things for which we used to actually be very specific in the merging. Remember in the Power Query basic session we used to say that before doing the merging, ensure that the columns on which you're going to search is with the same case, right? So if I have a data in uppercase, another one in lowercase, Power Query does not match, right? So this you can control that to an extent in with this fuzzy logic. And secondly, we discussed that when you're doing a lookup with another table, and if there are matching records, let's say there are two matching records. Example, I have uppercase A here, and in this table 2 it is matching with two records, right? So what will happen when you do a merging? It actually repeats the entries, which means from table 1 to table 2, if table 1 has one entry, then it will be duplicated into two entries with the outcomes of these two records, which means all the matching records will be given as an output. This is where we discussed that before doing a merging, we will have to ensure that the table that we are going to search is unique on that column on which we have to do a merge. Now this also typically in a way we can control that as well within this fuzzy logic. Let's look at this. For now, table 1 has only one record, name in uppercase A with amount, and table 2 has name A repeated 3 times. One is with the same case, uppercase A 2 times, and another one with a lowercase a, yeah, and also there's one non-matching record. Yeah, good. So I've already loaded this query table into the query, so let's go inside this. So I'm going to do merge query as new, and I'm going to search on column name in table 2, again on column A. Now typically you can see one rows of the matched, from here only one row, right? So it will match on that. Now what I'll do is, instead of just like left outer without this, I'll say now use fuzzy matching to perform the merge. Now this has a lot of different options, as I said to you. So right now we'll work on one of them. So fuzzy matching options, similarity threshold, nothing is written here. So now you see it is basically telling some percentages on the kind of matching it has to do. Yeah. So basically the minimum value is 0.00 will cause all values with any level of similarity to match either. So this is a risky. The lesser so the range is between 0 to 1. So 1 is kind of an exact match, and the lesser you keep coming, then it becomes like a contains logic. But right now I do not want the merge to do a kind of a contains logic. I still want it to do an exact match only. So I'm going to give the maximum value, which is 1.00, and I'm going to take this option called ignore case. Let this be ticked so that the lower case also can be matched. Match by combining text parts. Right now I'll remove it out. Remember, my only objective is to ensure that this merge is not case sensitive. Yeah. Apart from that, the actual merge that happened earlier with a normal left outer without this fuzzy magic should happen the same way. Yeah. So which means rest of the things I'll leave it out. Right, I'll OK to this. Okay, now I got an output. Now remember, table 2, there were like 3 records. One of them is lowercase. So when I go to merge here, I find those 3 records here. So all the matching records, irrespective of the case, I was able to take this. Great. Now let's look at another situation. Let's say typically we discussed in the Power Query basic batch that whenever you're doing a merge, ensure that the table that you're doing lookup should be unique, which means the name should not have been repeated here, isn't it? But let's say for some reason you are not able to remove the unique or keep only the unique names, because maybe this table 2 is used for something else, and just for the sake of merge you don't want to delete it out. In that case, if you wanted only the first occurrence, that means we know that whenever we do merge we get all the occurrences, but we don't want all the occurrences. For example, you see, if I open up this table, it is going to give you all the occurrences, and then this data gets repeated here, isn't it? So A with amount 35 is repeated 3 times, and with this I think the final outcome of the data will go wrong. Yeah, so this may be the risk. So in such situation, let's say I wanted only the first occurrence of the record. So I know that the table that I'm looking for has duplicates on the column that I'm searching, but I still wanted the first occurrence. That is where we learned in the sessions where we go and we'll have to write some formulas inside it, right? So because these transformation tools doesn't work on the nested tables, it works on the foreground outer table only, right? So what I'll do is I'm just going to click on this table, create some dummy steps, remember, and now in this I'll say add index column. Yeah, so this is good enough. I get a index column 1 2 3. This means first occurrence, second occurrence, third occurrence. So I'm going to copy this formula. Now I'm going to delete these dummy steps, and now I will say add column and custom column, and we will put this formula here, table.add index. So what is the table? That is coming from this table 2, index 1. All these other syntaxes I'll read it as it is. So now table 2, the outcome of the merge is giving me 2 columns with 3 rows. The other one is giving me again 3 rows, but with an index column 1 2 3. Yeah, so this looks good. So I'm going to chop this out, and I'm going to open this with all of them. Now this repeats, the entries gets repeated. That is no way you can avoid it, because it gives you all the occurrences. Now you can control it by saying, okay, give me only the first occurrence, which means you're going to tick only for 1, and finally only 1 row remains, the first occurrence remains, and then I can remove these out, the ones which is not needed. Yeah, so basically you saw the kind of steps involved in a situation where you are doing a lookup on another table where there are multiple occurrences and you wanted only the first occurrence. It's quite a difficult task, isn't it? So you have to merge and then write formulas inside, and then open up the table and then access for the first occurrence. Yeah, so now these steps, typically what we did in the basic session, I think can be avoided. Yeah. So let's try this out. So I'm going to remove this out, these steps. Okay, so I'll start from the merging itself. Yeah, so in the merge we have used fuzzy logic, fuzzy matching options. That will be at 1. Ignore case is okay. Now here is what I was talking about, maximum number of matches. That means how many matches you need. Now you see we have 3 matches, 3 occurrences. I'm going to say give me only 1, because I want to get only the first occurrence. Yeah, so I'm going to tell okay to this, and this table, when it matches, gives me only the first occurrence of it, and I can just open up. So this is going to be quite a simple task compared to the kind of additional steps that we created in the basic session. Yeah, and yes, this is quite a good option, but however, in case you wanted only the customized occurrence, like a second occurrence or third occurrence, then this might not help. Yeah, yes, you can ask how many occurrences from the start you need. You wanted the first occurrence or the first 2 occurrences. You can control that in the merge options, fuzzy logic options. However, if you wanted specifically the second occurrence, then the kind of workaround we did earlier will actually hold good. Good. Hi, let us learn through this example how do we do a fuzzy logic matching with the contains logic in Power Query. Now I have a table on survey inputs where people have typed the different fruits they like. So now we also have another table which as a fruits database, probably the fruits that's been sold in a shop. Now we have to match these both. Now in the survey inputs there could be some fruits asked by a user which is not there in our database, or there could be there in the database but may not be the same name. There could be some spelling mistakes. For example, you see apple is there here. Now here it is APLE, here it's called apple, right? So this is where fuzzy logic can really help us match these kind of spelling mistakes and things like that. So let's look into this. So goal is we'll see how best we can match all the survey inputs with the database. Yeah. Good. So I'm going to we'll have to load these tables. So this is a transformation table that I'll talk about it later on. For now, these two tables as well as this, all three have been loaded. So already loaded. So I'll go into the Power Query. So from table 1, I'll try to match searching in table 2. So I'll say merge queries as new. On this survey inputs column, search in table 2 fruit database. Now the standard matching, you can see it gives you only 2 of 12. So when you open up, I've just gone with left outer kind, so do not worry about the different kinds now. And when I do it, there's only 2 matches because as per the standard Power Query, it's like case sensitive search. Exactly all the letters has to be same and all those things are there, isn't it? Even a small dot also will not match with an exact match logic. Okay, so I'm going back to so typically right now only 2 matches have happened. A lot of things have not matched. So I'm going back to the first step and I'll now try to use a fuzzy logic matching. Use fuzzy matching to perform the range. Fuzzy matching options. Now remember the thresholds, the highest is 0.1 and the lowest is 0.0. Default is 0.8. So I always prefer to go by 0.8. I do not decrease it because I've tried it at times when I try to go by 0.5 or 0.4. At times it was like matching wrong things, you know, something which is my data, let's say, was X here and it was trying to match something else Y there, and the other data could go wrong. So this is case to case. You have to look at your data and explore it. For now, I think I'll go with the default of 0.80. Yeah, ignore case, matching case by combining text parts. Those things are okay. Matching case is, for example, you have watermelon here. There's a space here, so it can combine those and match it. Yeah, so that can be there. Number of matches, that's fine for now. We'll get all occurrences. Fruit database has only 1 unique occurrence. Yeah, good to go. Transformation table, I'll talk about it later on. So right now 10 of 12 rows have been matched. Okay, so let me go to the second step. Now here you see the word APLE is matched now in the fruit database. It's called apples. That's quite good. Pineapple, watermelon, there was a space here. I think it is still matched, which is nice. There was some survey input where we had written only watermin, the spelling mistake, but that has been matched to watermelon. And yes, we have watermelon here, the spelling mistake, but still it was able to match. Banana in lowercase, I think still it has matched, which is good. There was a plural word bananas, but it still matched to the word banana. APLS, it's not able to understand. Grapes, oh good, it was still, the letter was missing, still it is able to match it. APPL, the letter was missing, still it's able to match. Yeah, so mostly quite good. Gala, I think maybe let's say in table 2, do we have gala? No, we do not have that. You know, maybe it's part of the grapes category. I do not know. We'll check it out. So these are 2 things it has not matched. Yeah. Now for something like apple with the short form, people write APLS. It's quite difficult with the threshold matching. This is where Power Query has also given us an option called in case you have something to match which we are not able to do, it says give me a transformation table. From there I can check and also match. Now this is where the transformation table is there. One table you'll have to get ready. When you're working regularly on your office data, you will come to know what kind of words people use it typically, and then you can create one transformation table. Now you see, when you did a merge, I found that people are using the word APLS, which has been matched to Apple, which the threshold was not able to do. So in the transformation table, a record is created, mainly coming from the mapping tables within the Excel file. So APLS, we are saying let us match to the word Apple. So these two columns have to be created in the transformation table in Excel. Similarly, Gala is also a part of the Apple fruit, so we've also listed down that as well. Yeah. So right now these two have not been matched, APLS and Gala. So what I'll do is I'll go back to the source, and under the fuzzy matching options, when I go here, it says transformation table optional, and it says select a transformation table that will be used to map values such as MSFT to Microsoft and things like that, something which it's not able to do. So I'm going to choose transformation table here. Remember the transformation table, I have already a table. This table name can be anything actually. Yeah, for now I've written as transformation table. That's it. You can see 12 of 12 rows has been matched. Let's tell OK. Yes, now I think you can see APLS is matched to Apple, Gala is matched to Apple, which is nice. Yeah. So what I'll now do is I'll say close and load to, and maybe print this in the Excel sheet, and we'll do a bit of testing. Table, and maybe we'll ask it to print it here. Yeah, here I have got the data. So let's do a bit of testing now. So I want to show as many rows as possible. Great. Just create a hypothetical situation, so probably putting something irrelevant data into this tables, but for testing point of view that should be fine. So I'm writing the location called Bangalore. Okay, and now in the survey inputs, let's say people enter different ways. One situation where I've entered completely with uppercase, a situation with completely with lowercase, another situation where I have not entered complete word, you see the character E is missing, and another situation, let's say I enter Bangalore with something code 560001, right? So I've created a different situation here altogether. So let me do a refresh, and you go here, you can see the case sensitive issues is cleared, the spelling mistakes that happened is quite clear, it's cleared, and I had a city with pin code as well. I think it's able to ignore the pin code and still match the location Bangalore, which is nice. So doing a lot of good things. Yeah, another one more testing I'll do. So let's say I put BLR, and then I put the word Bengaluru. Yeah, so there's another name called for Bangalore. So let's see if Parker can do this kind of task. I'll do a refresh all. Okay, BLR it's not able to match, null value. Bengaluru, good, it is able to match and get the word Bangalore, which is nice. Yeah. So now what I'll do is for BLR, I'll probably put telling that if you get the word BLR, take it to the word Bangalore. If you get the word CHN, let's take it to the word Chennai. Okay. So let's put here, let's say CHN, and then let's try it out. Okay, refresh the query. Good. So Bangalore is able to now match Bangalore. CHN is still not able to do. Maybe because that was not in the database. First, it has to be in the database. Then only I think it could work. I guess. Let me check. Yes. So anything that you use in this transformation table has to be in the second table that you do a merging. Yeah. Good. So that's about the fuzzy logic matching participants. I hope you were able to understand it. Quite a useful tool. But yeah, be safe before doing it. Do it on small data, or whenever you're doing on the real-time data. Test out the outcomes, get the confidence of this tool, and then start using it. Yeah. On my practical experience, there were times where I couldn't use a fuzzy logic. I don't know if I can put across the situation I'm looking at. Just imagine a situation that I had something like BLR space CHL, okay, and if I do a refresh to this data, because two matchings are there. Oh, it didn't give anything. Yeah, that's okay. But I don't know. I'm not able to recollect. I think that was a situation where it probably picked up the word Bangalore, but the requirement from the client was that the last occurrence has to match. Something like that. It was a situation where fuzzy logic, multiple occurrences were there, right? So that's the time I couldn't use this. I had to use some Power Query functions to work on it. Good. I think we learned a lot of things on the different kinds of merging as well as fuzzy logic. I will share you these files, and you can see this video and work on this. Yeah. Thank you.